Hello, I'm calling today's project 1-inch art. What you'll need is a piece of paper with lots of images on it from a magazine or a newspaper, some scissors, a pencil, and a sketchbook or a blank piece of paper. Start by finding a piece of paper that has lots of images on it. I chose this piece of paper from my newspaper ads section. Notice how it's got photos and images on both sides. You can also choose something from a magazine. Just make sure it has lots of images on both sides and not too much writing because we're going to be drawing from it, and you'll see why in just a moment. Take your piece of paper and fold it in half. Fold it in half again. Fold it in half again. And we're going to cut a tiny little 1-inch by 1-inch square from this piece of paper. Cut into the middle and cut that square out. You can eyeball it, or if you don't feel comfortable eyeballing, you can use your ruler to make sure it's 1-inch by 1-inch. Okay, you should end up with several different 1-inch squares, and you can save this or you can throw it away or recycle it. And let's check out what you got. You're going to find a kind of a nice abstract image that you want to draw on your piece of paper larger. So you're looking for things that are interesting. Now, I don't know about this one. I think that's a no for me. And look on both sides, see if you can find something you like. Okay, I think I'm deciding between these two, and I like the different colors in the background here, so I think I'll settle on that one as my final inch art that I'm going to draw. And now go to your sketchbook or your blank piece of paper. And you're going to draw a nice large square on here. I definitely need a ruler for this. Or if you don't have a ruler, you can use the corner of a piece of paper and you can borrow that right angle. Okay, here's my square, and now I'm going to decide which way is up. I think I'll go for that. I'm going to sketch it into my square. My final step, and probably the funnest part, is to fill it in with colors depending on what materials you have available to you. Crayons, paints, colored pencils, markers. Let's go. Sometimes when I'm adding in color, I like to make some choices where as an artist I'm going above and beyond what I'm actually seeing in real life. For instance, with this little section, it's mostly grays and dark grays. And as I started to see it in my larger composition, I realized that I wanted a little bit more color. So instead of doing a dark gray over here, I ended up using a purple to just make it pop a little bit more. And that's the fun part with abstract work, is you get to start to make your own color choices so that you like it. You don't have to stick to exactly what's there. right, I think I've added in the colors that I like, and now I just need to go in with an eraser because I used pastels, and I'm going to erase away so that I get some nice clean lines on these white letters. If you're using pastels like I am, they're very messy and your eraser is going to get a little messed up, so use an eraser you're not very fond of. You can add in a little black border to give it a frame and make it feel finished. I'm using a piece of paper so that I don't smudge what I've already worked on. Now, one of the hard things about abstract art is knowing when you're done. And so one of the things that I use to help me is looking at the piece, put it far away from your body like this, and ask yourself, does your eye move around the page? And in art, this is the principle of design called movement. So if you notice that your eye dances from here to there, then that means your piece is probably pretty close to complete. If your eye gets stuck in one spot, then that means you need to draw more attention somewhere else. There's a lot of attention over here because of all the texture, but these bold colors over here help pull your eye around. So maybe your eye goes from here to the S, and then up around to here, and then over and around. That's a good way of knowing if your piece is complete, if it has movement. If you'd like, you can tape or glue your original piece to your page for fun, and congratulations on your 1-inch art.